Hi, I'm Tom Newstrom, professional fishing guide from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. You know, in the summertime, after the walleyes leave the shallow water, we kind of switch over from jigs, and sometimes we pull spinners and we troll shad raps and some other things. But one of the things I like to do, especially when the fish go deep, is I like to rig them. And I use about a ½ ounce egg sinker. I put a bead between the swivel and the sinker to basically make sure that the sinker isn't banging against the knot. And then I run about a 6-foot leader. And one of the things that's really great about, we run a leech or a night crawler on it. And in the summertime, there's a lot of different hatches that come off the bottom in the area lakes. Winnie's a perfect example. That we get these hatches of mayfly larvae and fish fly larvae, and that's what the fish dial into. They go out to that deep water area, and this is what they're looking for. So that's why leeches and crawlers, that crossover from jig and minnow, work so efficiently. So again, you know, it's just a nice ½ ounce egg sinker. Put a bead between the swivel and the sinker, and about a 6 to 7 foot leader. And I like a red hook, or even put something with a bead on it, and it works out really good for us, and I know it'll work for you. So get out there, enjoy yourself, and you know what, visit Grand Rapids, because we've got the best walleye fishing in the state. You know, one of the things that's really effective, but we got to know how to do it, is hooking the leech properly. You know, when you get a leech, these little squirmy little guys, what you want to do is you want to take the hook and you want to hook it right in the sucker, which is the larger part of the leech, okay? And I'll tell you what, and then what happens is when it goes in the water, they squirm and they swim, and they'll swim really good, and that's what gets these fish going. So again, and you can see it as the thing dangles a little bit, it looks like a little snake, but it kind of swims through the water. So you want to hook it in the fatter end of the leech where the sucker is, and right through the sucker with the hook. Just one time like that, and no problem, and it's very simple. You know, besides leeches, a lot of times in the summer we use night crawlers on our slip sinker rigs. And the best effective way, if you're using a single hook, is just take the crawler and hook it right through the nose. I kind of like to tuck it in a little bit. Just tuck it in just a little bit and slide that, you know, slide the eye of the hook right up towards the head of the crawler. And as you can see, it doesn't hurt the action of the crawler. In fact, I mean, you look at this thing and it looks like an anaconda, you know, I mean, on the hook, but the walleyes love it. And so do other species. Bass like it too, and you know, you can maybe catch a trout if you're on a trout lake, but again, hook it right in the top of the, you know, the head of the crawler, just as I did, and that'll work really efficiently for you, and it's worked for me for years, and I know it'll work for you. You know, after we talk about the slip sinker fishing, one of the things is about the rod too. Most of us like a 7.5 foot rod, but if you look at the tip, it's kind of a softer tip. And what we do is we wait for that fish to bite the bait, you know, whether it's a crawler, leech, we give them time, and then before we set the hook, we actually let the rod kind of load up a little bit. So the fish is actually kind of pulling on the rod tip, and then we set. So there, you know, let the fish load that rod tip up just ever so slightly, and then set the hook, and you'll get a good bend in the rod, and you've got a lot of power in the back. So, you know, have that softer rod tip, and it'll make a lot of difference in your success rate.